How's it going, YouTube? Anthony and Shayna back here for another video. And on today's video, we're just going to be busting like a couple dabs real quick. And Anthony has like a pretty sick ass story to tell you guys. So we're going to start there. If you haven't already, go check out our last video, which was posted like 6-8 hours ago. Make sure you go check that out. But yeah, we're going to be starting our video in a little bit. Our bag, so...
What up, guys?
Anthony is going to start by telling you his fucking story, how our morning started.
Oh my god, dude, guys. Okay, so I woke up at
And I'm gonna be busting a dab while he's doing that, so sorry.
I woke up at like 3:50 in the morning, got ready, got dressed for work, and I was on my way to my car, okay? And I turn on my car, and it turns on fine. And then 2 seconds later, it starts making this really crazy, like, loud fucking noise. And I thought she could hear it from the room because it was that loud. I turned off my car, and I got out, and I was like, well, shit, like, I gotta figure something out. And then
he had work to go to.
Yeah, I had to go to work. And right as I'm sitting there thinking that, I hear this really loud cicada noise, and it's like if you guys don't know what a cicada is, it makes like this loud, like, maraca type noise.
Like, I can't explain it. That's not even...
Like that, like really loud. And I was like, at first I looked at my neighbor's car because it was right behind mine, and I was like, is one of their tires loose or something? Like, is air coming out? And then I heard it, and I was like, is that a cicada? Like, why is it really loud, and why is there only one?
It was louder than a normal cicada, guys.
And, like, I got closer, and I looked down, and I was like, oh, my God. It was a rattlesnake, dude. It was 3 feet away from me. I saw it moving its head, and its tongue was flapping in the dark. And, its tail was shaking, and it was so loud.
So, sorry.
It was less than 3 feet away from me.
So he came back in, and he was like, dude, he explained what happened, and I was like, did it sound like this? And I played a video on YouTube, and it sounded exactly the fucking same, and I was like, dude, thank God you ran away, because those things are venomous.
Yeah, it was a western diamondback rattlesnake, and it was wrapped and coiled at least 3 or 4 times, so I'm thinking this snake might have been at least 4 to 6 feet long.
It did not like Anthony around him, I'll tell you that.
As soon as I finally, I am so thankful that it gave me enough time to, realize what it was without getting too close and getting attacked.
Well, that's the warning call. They're like, yo, you better back the fuck up, bitch.
I've never in person heard a rattlesnake. Never. And that was the first time I encountered one, in person that was that close to me.
Dude, when I looked it up and I saw it on, heard it, I was like, this has to be the noise. That's too fucking loud for it to not be the noise.
Oh my God, dude. Look, it's making the hair on my arms stand up, guys. It was terrifying. This thing was less than 3 feet away from me, getting ready to, attack, and I'm sitting there what the heck is that noise? And I look a little closer, and I'm like, huh? And I booked it. I turned around and I started running back to the front door. And as soon as I made it to the front door, I don't know if it tried chasing me or what, but I heard the rattling stop. It slowed down and it stopped. And I was like...
Now the thing is, we've had snakes before, but all of the snakes that we've personally had, they weren't venomous.
Yeah.
And all of the, I think their fangs had been taken out completely.
And the one ball python, I remember I had a ball python a really long time ago. It never once tried to attack me, and it never once got threatened and started making,
I've held plenty of snakes. It's just that shit is, no, that shit's fucking dangerous.
That's a wild, venomous snake.
Don't try to catch that shit.
Yeah, unless you have proper equipment and all that stuff.
We watched someone this morning try to kill a fucking snake, and we were like, dude, what if it comes back and fucking bites you? Because he was saying that you can't grab around the mouth and hold it.
Because the fangs are overgrown and it can bite you.
It's too big of a mouth.
So what he did was he grabbed it by the tail, he's holding it up, and I'm like, what if the snake turns around and bites you in the stomach or the chest or the arm? He takes it and he whips it. And
this thing is huge, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my god.
And he whips it and the thing just dies instantly. And we're
The
like,
neck snaps as soon as he whips it, and there's like blood and mucus like coming out of its mouth and nose.
I mean, we personally said that that's inhumane and we would have preferred to see it done a different way.
Dude, like a shovel to the head or something. Like,
Let's just fucking whip it.
No way in hell I'm picking up a snake by the tail. Like, what the hell no.
The proper way to dispose of a fucking snake is to get one of those things that have a cord on it that you can pull and just put the snake in, pull it, and then put it in a bucket and release it.
Kind of like what animal control has for the dogs. When you pull on the back bar, the string tightens up. You get something like that, and you tie it around its head, and then you can either put it in a sack or in a box or something. Take it out to the desert and throw it, let it go. I know back in Pennsylvania we had snakes, but they weren't venomous. Like, if they bit you, you'd get a bump and stuff like that, but it's just like a reaction from getting
bit. The
bit.
snakes in Indiana, the only snakes we had in Indiana, they were swamp snakes, bro. Like, I don't know where everyone else is from. I'm from Indiana. Like, that's where I technically say I'm from because I grew up there. And one time it flooded, and we lived right by a creek, so everything over flooded into the creek. And I don't know if it was a fucking ginormous worm, but that thing was slithering too fast on top of the water for, like, it to be anything logical in my mind other than a fucking snake. But yeah, I never went out.
Crazy.
I think I used to see a lot of leeches in Indiana too. I just I didn't think I realized what they were. Because I'd see them everywhere, dude.
The number one way we killed snakes in Pennsylvania was take a shovel, chop its head, and throw the head and body into a fire so it burns.
That's exactly what I've not just take the fucking tail and whip that shit, break it. I feel like that's more inhumane than just fucking, like, chopping its fucking head off, dude. I'm sorry, I'm cussing a lot. I think it's more inhumane to do that than to just go and chop the head off. Our last video yesterday was super long. We might be doing a vlog in the next couple of days because we sat and watched it and decided that we like the way our vlog type videos are. Okay.
Oh my god. I'm gonna finish that.
Well, I'm gonna wait until you're done coughing. Because we like more of our vlog type videos. Because they look better. Bruh.
That dab was the equivalent of getting, like, thumb punched in the throat. Like, someone just jabs you in the throat.
Well, it's the first dab of the day.
Oh, man. Actually, my first dab of the day was early as fucking morning.
Yeah, but you fell asleep and woke up again, so it doesn't technically count.
See, that dab probably didn't help me out this morning.
I know, because you're high and you're sitting there like, ah!
Like, you guys ever realize, like, sometimes you'll be super high and you'll be like, what's that noise? And you'll realize someone's telling a story, or you got a TV show on, or you're listening to a song, and you're like, oh shit, I spaced out. Like, I totally fucking missed out on that. Like, I'm sitting there hearing the noise, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm sure it was going on for a little bit longer, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, what's that noise? It's really loud. And then I'm like, is that the car? And I'm like, no. Cicada? But why is there only one in the whole neighborhood going off? And then I was like, oh my god, dude.
So when we do our vlog videos, they're gonna mainly be outside because it looks a lot better outside and there's more to do. There's more to see.
And there's more natural light, so it'll give the video a better bit.
That's why we've been doing a lot more car videos because we've noticed that the lighting's better in there. We can't smoke in the car, but...
I mean, we can, but we choose not to. Mainly because our old car, we smoked in it.
Well, not only that, our videos will start getting demonetized once we're, like, out there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our old Hotbox videos, they got taken down.
Oh, yeah, because we were actually smoking THC. I'm talking about, like, not dabs, like, vapes and stuff like that. And cigarettes.
Well, I'm talking about
stopped.
weed, babe.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, we may hit cartridges in the car or something. But we stopped because our old car, even after we stopped smoking in it, you could still kind of tell that someone used to smoke weed in there. Like, I changed the filters, we bombed the car, like, once or twice, like, scent bomb it. You buy the little car scent bombs from the store, and you turn on the AC.
The reason why we stopped smoking, I'll tell you guys this story. One time, things weren't so hot. Things are super hot over here. So we were like, we're not going to smoke over here. We're going to go out and go smoke and then go over to my friend's house. Because we didn't want to smoke at my friend's house because they are greedy and we don't like to fucking smoke with them. We're not friends with them now, so I'm just going to be
hit
blunt.
It twice, pass it, and then be sitting there like, oh, I forgot I had it. Here you go. And pass it to the other one.
It's different if you hit it.
You guys should have said something. I'm still hitting it.
It's different if it's like 3 times. You hit it 3 times and you're like, oh shit, I forgot. Here you go. But if you're literally doing it every time and we know you're doing it on purpose, so we're gonna stop.
And you're sitting
fucking
there
smoking
just
you
sitting
out.
with it, like.
But anyways, we didn't want to smoke with them, point blank. So we were like, okay, we're gonna go behind where I used to live and go smoke because it's an old farm field. A lot of people used to not go back there, but apparently that's not true.
Things change, guys. Be
so
aware.
we went back there, started to smoke up. He had a blunt, I had a blunt, and apparently a neighbor had called the cops and said that there were some kids in the back, like shooting up drugs, basically. And so the 5 fucking cops pull up.
Jumped over the fence.
They were in camo, so we couldn't see them.
Until they got closer.
They blended in so well with the desert. It was so fucking weird. Like, they got super close. We looked. We were like, we're not going to move because we don't want to get out and have them think that we're running or anything. So we're like, okay, we're going to sit here, wait for them to get a little closer, and then we're going to get out. We put our shit out, threw them, and then the guy was like, what are you doing over here smoking weed? Like, we got out. They were like, what are you doing over here smoking weed? And we were like, we explained the situation. We told them we had our med cards and that we just had nowhere to smoke because we got in a fight with our parents.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, that's against the law. Don't be stupid about this shit. And he was like, I'm not against weed, but we're looking for people with pounds and shit. And
I know.
And usually people that come back here are shooting up or making drug deals.
Hard drugs, shooting up. And he's like, when he first came over the fence, he didn't realize that we were smoking weed. He thought we were doing something else.
He thought we were shooting up.
Yeah, and then when he got closer, he could smell it. And he said that, like, if we were doing anything else, it would have been really bad. But since we were just smoking...
They were being really rude to us in the beginning.
Yeah, before we told them we had our med cards, he was like...
They didn't believe us either, yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm going to pull it out, okay? I'm pulling it out right now.
We both pulled out our med cards and we were like, look, we have our med cards.
And they're like, oh, okay. So why aren't you guys smoking at home? Hands us back our med cards. Everyone's all calm.
Everyone was patting him down gently and shit. I know,
yeah, they're like, can we pat you down? I'm like, go for it. I don't have anything bad on me. They took my keys, and the guy was like, what's this? And I was like, that's an ashtray keychain from my dispensary. And he opened it up, and he's like, oh, okay.
He probably thought it was cool.
Ash in there. He was like, I've never seen this before. And I was like,
Can't buy them anywhere.
I got it from Weed Fest. My dispensary doesn't have those on sale. They were only giving them away at Weed Fest back in, 2018?
And our dispensary specifically gave it to us. We knew. We went and took pictures with everybody there because those were our people. Like, we knew them.
It was sick.
And as soon as we specifically went to Weed Fest, though, for them.
I was like, man, what a time to get a limited edition item that no one's ever heard of before.
But yeah, they were telling us about how people usually shoot up back there, and they said that we need to not go back there and smoke, otherwise they'll ticket us for trespassing, and if we have weed on us, we'll also get a DUI. And then hold on.
He told us to just go to our friend's house and smoke, or
Yeah.
go to someone's house and smoke.
And then he
because
also said
he just doesn't want to see us on public property.
his wife is a nurse, and his wife actually prescribes weed
to people.
So
he said he knows that it's not bad, and the fact that we have our med cards showed that we were allowed to be smoking, just not in that
public.
spot.
Yeah.
Like we just had to go somewhere else, is what he was telling us.
And by law, you're allowed, if you're a medical patient, you're allowed to smoke anywhere other than public property. So you can go to your mom's house if she allows it.
As long as she allows it, she's not going to.
You can go to your friend's house if they allow it. Wherever, as long as it's a safe place for you to smoke.
Yeah, and you have to have your med card. If your neighbors call the cops on you because they smell weed, you can show the cop that you have your med card and you don't want to be disturbed and you don't want to be bothered.
Tell them what the cop tried to fucking have us do.
Dude,
this is the shit. This is the fucking corrupt shit. Listen to this.
The cop, we were walking back.
Hold on. After the fact, after he was like, okay, you guys can go.
Yeah,
we started walking back.
He was like, have a good day, be safe, and don't do anything
We started walking
bad.
towards our friend's house.
We were walking towards our friend's house, and the cop was like, hey, don't you want your car? And I was like, oh, wait, no, I'm good. I'm just going to walk, because he just saw us smoking, so I didn't want him to pull me over.
He was trying to pull some slick shit, bro, and we were like, nah.
To get into the car and drive there and then pull me over for being suspected DUI.
Because he was just talking to us about do you know your laws and all this shit, and we were like, yeah, we do know our laws, but I just told you guys our situation, so
and he was like, okay, that's fine, and then we just walked to our friend's house, and then he got in his car, got everything set up, and then just drove away. Because I guess they had another call or something.
Dude, he fucking sped off.
They sped off really fast, but honestly...
That's why we don't smoke in our car or out in public anymore.
Make sure you guys get your med card, because if you do get caught, it will definitely save you from just... Because the moment you're caught smoking, you're a criminal. You broke the law right there.
Hold on. I'm just saying, don't ever drive and smoke. That's where we didn't go wrong. We were actually outside sitting down. But if we were in our car smoking, we would...
That also would have been criminal. Like, I don't care.
We would have been going away that day. Like, I was so fucking scared.
If you guys do get caught and you have your med card, it saves you from not... Because normal people, it's illegal to smoke. General, period. Even if you're at your house, still against the law. You're breaking the law by smoking an illegal substance. But if you have your card... You're at least able to smoke. You're just not supposed to be doing it there. So the most they're gonna tell you, unless it's a dickhead cop and he's just being an asshole, but 9 out of 10 times the cops will be like, well, you have the license to do this, but you're not supposed to be here. You either have to leave or there's gonna be issues.
And they'll give you a warning. They'll be like, you will get your med card taken away if you do this again, or if I catch you personally again.
So,
dude,
that was the last time we had ever been pulled over, been seen, and that was how long ago? Like
almost 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That's why we stopped smoking in our car, because like smoking pot, because that shit scared us, and we were like, no more. And people started asking us if they could smoke in our car and shit, and we were like, no, dude. Like, I'm the only one that has my med card, and if you guys get caught, it's going on me, and then I'm giving away.
It goes on the driver. In the state of Arizona, it goes on the driver.
Well, it's going on both of us, because we both have our med cards, and they're going to think that even if we... Because our friends come in, and they have random cartridges that we don't get them. Like, we don't sell our shit to them, because they prefer shit off the street. Like, it's okay.
I've heard how dangerous street carts were. I've tasted some street carts, and they are not what they make themselves to be.
We just choose to stick with our stuff. People don't ask us for anything, so we're just like, all right, whatever. Stick with your off-white, off-wall, whatever cards.
Dude, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something. I was going to say the story.
I just took dabs.
Oh. Dude, one time, a while back, Shayna was, like, really sick, and it had to do with her acid reflux, but at the time, we didn't really know because they were still doing tests on her. So This was when the coronavirus stuff first started happening. And I was on my way picking up a part from AutoZone because they were about to close, because they were closing early. And it was the weekend. And Shayna was at the hospital getting things tested, and I asked her, I was like, hey, can I go pick up my parts and then come back here? Because they're gonna close by the time you get out, and I just, like, it's only gonna take me 10 minutes. It was literally 5 minutes down the road and then 5 minutes back. But I'm driving back, and I'm only doing like 5 miles over the limit, and I got pulled over by an undercover. He didn't give me a ticket, he didn't say anything, he just asked me, he's like, so why are you going so fast? And I was like, officer, I apologize, I'm on my way to the hospital. My wife is actually coughing up blood, and she's not doing very well, she feels really sick. And he was like, oh, okay, well, he's like, the number one injury in America, the number one death is speeding. So I want you to not speed, be careful. We both want you to get there on time. You want to get there on time and see your wife. I want you to get there and be safe. So just don't speed or anything. And I was like, okay, I'm very sorry. And I went and I kept driving, and I was just thinking, like, afterwards, I was like thinking about it in my head, and I was like, dude, I probably freaked that cop out, because like it didn't
dawn on him.
It didn't click in my head that
because I knew it was my
on
acid reflex.
Was corona, and that was like really bad, and people were like wearing masks and all that, and all I was thinking about was her, like what she's doing, and it had to do with like her having too much acid, so it was making her throw up and all that stuff. But the way the cop was thinking about it, he was probably like, oh, what the hell? I'm seeing some whack shit on TV, people falling over, this nigga's wife is throwing up blood in the hospital. He's like, all right, I'm not even gonna get near you or touch you. Like,
he told me
go.
He was staying 6 feet away from him.
Yeah,
like, he was far as fuck.
The cop was like a foot or two away from my door, and we were pulled off to the road, and I was like, I wasn't wearing a mask or anything because I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just sitting there like, evening, officer.
This was like before anybody knew shit. Like, when I would go, I was required to wear a mask when I would go into the hospital, but in general, because I had to go several times. It went from being my stomach to like getting splitting headaches because my acid reflex like destroyed so many nerves.
Yeah, honestly, guys. But I just thought that was really funny because I was like, I didn't even think about it in my head before I said anything. And that guy was probably like, dude, they're gonna die of corona. But no, we're not. We don't have it.
I even got tested for corona because I had to have an EKG. Oh, I forget what it's called. I think it's an EKG, where they go in with the scope, but it came up negative.
Endoscope?
Yeah. Came up negative.
Yeah, everything came clean.
And then my parents get their coronavirus test all the time because
every week.
My stepdad, he works with homeless people, so he is very, very vulnerable for it. And I know it's stupid, but I don't know why he's still working for them, but he loves that job. So, he gets tested every week, and I go around them all the time. So I feel like if if they were to have it, I were to catch it. And they would know because they get to test all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
But that's pretty much it. If you liked our video, make sure you like and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at @butt_ink_ for the first result. And we'll try posting more constant. But yeah.
Peace. Subscribe.